Bonjour et bienvenue, good morning and welcome to the third and last day of ChangeNOW. We have a really exciting session ahead of us. Pitches, ideas and solutions all around the theme and the topic of energy. In about just 2 or 3 minutes, we're going to hear 10 speakers who are going to present their ideas. And we also have with us a wonderful jury. I want to give the word to you for just a very brief moment. Maybe say your name and the organization that you represent. And it's good to have you. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Esther Findori. I work with Schneider Electric. I'm the Chief Sustainability Officer of Schneider. And as part of our sustainability strategy, we have some impact funds doing early stage investing in impact startups.
Wonderful. Thank you. It's good to have you.
And I'm Laura Fox, the co-founder and general partner of Street Life Ventures. We invest all early stage, pre-seed and seed at the intersection of cities and climate.
Amazing.
Diane Segal, Crédit Agricole. We finance lots of renewable energy in France and abroad. Finance, invest, renewable energy and energy efficiency, everything around energy transition. And I'm an engineer and economist.
Wonderful. Good to have you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Justus. Investor at Better Ventures, pre-seed and seed investor based out of Munich, Germany. Investing in everything impact-related, focus areas, energy, circularity, and health.
Wonderful.
Good morning, Niklas. I'm working for the German Energy Agency, the German governmental think tank for all energy and climate tech-related topics, and I'm focusing on international climate tech startups.
Amazing. That's 5 pairs of very good eyes and ears to have on you as the pitches. Without further ado, I would suggest we kick it off. The way it's going to go down is that we're going to hear 5 pitches, 3 minutes each, followed by a question and answer round, followed by, again, another round of 5 pitches, 3 minutes, followed by another Q&A. So, without further ado, the first one up on stage is Eurial from Extra Joule. Welcome. The stage is yours. Hello, good to have you.
Hello, good morning. So, is this working? Yeah. Okay. So, good morning. I'm going to present you Extra Joule. So, we reduce electricity bills for industrials by converting waste heat into electricity. There's a ton of industrial heat waste that's just unused, and it's energy that's unused. And our objective is to convert this into electricity. It's untapped today. It's just going into the atmosphere, and by using it, we would be controlling and avoiding tons of CO2 emissions in the atmosphere. And today, if we collect all of this industrial heat, it's the equivalent of 8 nuclear plants. So we have a heat-to-power technology, which is a frugally designed and engineered technology. We are addressing industrial heat waste between 180 degrees to 1,000 degrees, and we're producing electricity between 20 kilowatts into 100, and our objective is to scale later on into 500 kilowatts. Our efficiency, theoretical efficiency, is up to 35%. And tested in our workshops is between 20 to 25% according to the temperature, which is 2 times what exists with the solution that are existing today. It's a deep tech solution issued from a long cycle of university research. We have, of course, patented the solutions. This is a very quick scheme of presenting the solution. The particularity is that we have a liquid piston, which allows us to reduce the price, and that's why it's really frugally engineered, and avoiding friction, which enhances the yield. For the customer value, of course, it's an economical gain because they're reducing their electricity bills, and we're optimizing circularity on the factories, and cherry on the cake, CO2 reduction. Our potential, so the sectors that we are addressing most of all, and this is issued from our CRM. We have potential of 250 units only in our CRM, which is in glass, metal, ceramics, chemistry, petrochemistry, incineration centers. In Europe only, it's about 65,000 units that could be installed. Our unit economics is with a power as a service model, and we have a very profound model where we can in fact install a first machine on a factory, but then after it can go to up to 20 to 50 machines on one factory. We already signed 3 clients, one in glass, one in metal, and in biogas, and we're installing them this year. Our financing roadmap is for next round will be in 2027, and we have a team of very experienced co-founders, as we already created companies together that we have already sold. Thank you very much.
Amazing. You can pass this on to the next one. Thank you for making the start this morning. That was Extra Joule, converting waste heat to electricity. Next up, we have Anders from the floating power plant. What is that all about? Please tell us.
Can you hear me? Morning.
Make sure to hold it.
So I am Anders Kohler, and I'm the CEO of Floating Power Plant. And at Floating Power Plant, we make green energy available on demand. And why is that important? Well, the world is changing. I don't know if you've noticed. Electrical power consumption will double, even more by 2050. Energy independency is becoming more important, even before I made these slides. Energy storage is the key to the energy transition. Without storage, no energy transition. And at these scales we are talking about, you have to go offshore. And that is where floating wind plays a key part in energy security. So what do we do? Well, it's actually quite simple. We have a floating foundation. On that, you put on a wind turbine, and then you add a long-duration energy storage system based on hydrogen. So when the wind blows, we send power to our clients. When there is too much wind, you take that wind, turn it into hydrogen. When there is then too little wind, you take the hydrogen, make it into power, use the same cable, and send it to the client. So green power 24/7. Well, who needs that? Well, our market entry clients are remote islands that ship in gas and diesel. It's also powering oil and gas and CCS. And it's also powering offshore data centers, which is actually moving quite fast. They all have the same issue. They import fossil fuels to get the right power quality. They are all looking for cheaper power and a lot of power. And they have a lot of restrictions on grid access and space. And that is why they need something like we do. We are at the frontier. We have already deployed floating wind offshore 4 times. On the left, you can see the hydrogen long-duration energy storage system that is built in Norway. And we are at TRL 6, and we are putting the first commercial project in the water. And we are doing that in the Canary Islands, which you can see here. It will be the first one in the world. We will be in full operation in 28. We have the lease for that. We have already buying key assets, the wind turbine, other systems. We just got 26 million from the EU Innovation Fund for this flagship project. And we are supported by a multiple number of utilities and oil and gas majors in this world. We are doing a Series A to scale. We are doing 10 million. We have the lead investor on board, which is a client. They also have a very, very good backlog for us. They're putting in 4 million euros of the 10 million euros. So we are looking for 1 to 3 strategic investors to come on board now. And if you are the one or you know the right investor or partner for us, then of course that's what we are looking for. When you leave here and you think of FPP, remember, we are not just offshore wind. We provide renewable power 24/7. We don't need subsidies. We are cheaper than what our clients do today. We very often don't need a grid connection. We don't do tenders. We do different business models. We lease out our platforms. And there's many, many options for what you do. And that's us. Look forward to engaging. I didn't get a call.
You can pass this on. Thank you. That was Floating Power Plant, creating offshore green energy on-demand solutions. Thank you very much. Next up is Clémentine from Kelvin. The stage is yours.
Okay. This person here.
Hello, everyone. Let me play a little game with you, okay? I'm going to transform each and every one of you into a building energy retrofit specialists with 3 informations.
Yeah.
One is that buildings account for 40% of the energy consumption in Europe and 35% of the carbon we produce every year. So that matters. Information number 2 is that we know, because of when the buildings have been built in Europe, 300 million buildings, they can save on average 2/3 of the energy they're consuming. Yeah, and 80% of the buildings in Europe needs energy retrofit renovation. So essentially what it means is that whenever you put your heating on in each and every one home, you're basically making your house warmer, but you're also heating the air for nothing, yeah? Topic number 3 that you need to be aware of is that building renovation is a complex system of equations with roughly 1,000 parameters, including 7 blocks, the walls, the ceilings, the windows and the doors, the floor, the heating system, the sanitation water, and the ventilation. And what you need to know is that if you get the solution wrong, you can damage the property permanently. The walls can crumble, for example, if you get insulation and heating wrong. So with that intro, are you ready? Europe has a super ambitious plan and should renovate the 300 million houses in 30 years. But it's not happening. We're going 10 to 20 times slower than what it is required. So right now, at this pace, it's going to take 170 years. But we at Kelvin, we have a solution. So what is the solution what we're defining? The first thing is if you want to solve a very complex problem with a lot of data, you need to be the best to synthesize all the data on the building. You need to model it in 3D instantly. You need to gather the data on the homeowner, on the costs, on the financial engineering of the project, yeah? So that's what we do, basically. What is roughly a year and a day and a half of engineering work is done instantly. And what we do is we model with 4 pillars the property and give instant solution. So what we do is we equip 200 professionals in Europe scaling renovation, energy, construction. We're raising this year, so happy to have a chat.
Thank you. You can pass this on to the next speaker. Amazing. That was Kelvin, Rethinking Home Energy Renovation. Thank you for your pitch. Next up is Eva from Lightfire. You're allowed to clap, yes, indeed. Thank you. Stage is yours. Thank you.
Hello, I am Eva Vicens from Lightfire. We question ourselves what can be done without fossil fuel, without charcoal, without electricity. Can we still produce energy? And this is what we do. We make bread with solar oven. It's direct concentrated solar power. In the last 14 years, we have installed 175 solar oven like the one you see in about 25 countries, mostly in East Africa. And the idea is to also support entrepreneurship, and especially women entrepreneurs who can run their micro bakery. I'm sorry, it's my first pitch. No, it's not me usually. I'm so shy. Okay, I hope you enjoy. Thank you. Okay, I'm just a mom, and I did that from my kitchen in Tampere, while raising my kids, going through horrible divorce, founder conflict, everything. Of course, I did not do it alone. This is our small team, and we have many clients and partners. We have been working so far mostly with the humanitarian sector, who is buying from us these units who are manufactured in Kenya. The design is finished, and we have a patent, and we manufacture in Kenya. So yes, the humanitarian sector is our client, and we also work with different agencies. Okay, so of course the problem we solve is this one. You are all extremely aware and informed, so I don't need to elaborate a lot on this, but just When we install a light fire solar oven, it takes like half a day, and within that day, the women do not have anymore to go and cut for wood. The wood is rare now, more and more. On the road, it takes 3 to 4 hours. There are predators, animals, humans. They come back with it, then they would have to stay next to this open fire, watch for it. So we replace that with the solar oven, and they can, at their great level, thrive with this. So it's super simple. Now you're going to understand in one glance how it works. So these are like bathroom mirrors that are like slightly bent according to calculation, of course, and all the sun rays is focused on an oven. It is powerful. It's used only local materials, and it is very complementary to mini-grid, because with photovoltaic, it's kind of like burning the mini-grids when you want to run an oven to produce, you know. And with that small unit, you can do a lot. And these are solar entrepreneurs. And you can also make beer and so many things. I'm sorry, I haven't finished.
You did very well. You should be very proud of yourself. Amazing work. Thank you. That was Eva building solar ovens with Lightfire. Up next, and the fifth in this round, is Sri from Met Zero. Stage is yours.
Good morning. I'm Sri Holama, and I'm here today to present Mat Zero. This is a photograph I will never forget. It's a baby wrapped in a blanket in a field hospital in Gaza. And the caption reads, "Died of hypothermia." So this makes me question, in this day and age and the technology that we have, how are we still allowing humans to die from the cold? We send tents, we send blankets, but the challenge still remains. And it's not just in times of crisis, but in everyday living, fundamental warmth is often overlooked. Stoves, kerosene heaters, poor electrical components relying on fossil fuels, and therefore high energy systems. And as we're constantly reminded, even in the news today, that this number on the screen will increase with constant conflict and increase in climate-forced migration. I grew up internationally with humanitarian parents in the sector. That's me in the blue hat. And so I witnessed firsthand the disparity in energy access. So, training as a designer, I decided to do something about it. I built Mat Zero, a mission-led enterprise challenging the status quo on how we address energy access. A solar-powered heated mat heating the person, and not the space, there we go, using state-of-the-art carbon technology and sensor heating. We are now certified to the highest level and have a range of 3 different sizes depending on your environment and situation. We have units in Nepal reducing reliance on biomass heating in rural communities. We have units on Everest supporting clean mountaineering. We have units in maternity wards supporting women in their most vulnerable in rural maternity clinics. And we work with energy companies and charities supporting their most vulnerable customers in energy poverty. And we have units on the front line of Ukraine. We generate revenue through multiple different markets, but in this case, profit enables impact and reach. And so now, with an incredible team and board who have scaled hardware companies and exited into the market, we're now raising the capital to scale this impact. We have built something physical, something that you can use and touch and deploy right away to change lives at an instant. So this isn't just a pitch, but to invite you to join us with your roles, networks, and responsibilities to put warmth where it's needed the most. I really look forward to connecting with you afterwards. We also have a product demo, so welcome everyone to try the mat. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. You can stay with me right away for the Q&A. Thank you very much. That was Met Zero, providing dependable warmth everywhere. And I would love to invite the other 4 speakers to come rejoin us on stage. Yeah, I can take this. Can you go to my right? Yeah. Let's try and be as centered and close to each other as possible so the camera can capture you all. And I am bringing the attention over to you, the jury, for your questions. Please go.
I'm
Little
happy
closer.
I'm happy to start with the first question. First question for Extra Joule. Just curious, you mentioned that the cost of the system for power as a service is about 30K per year. What is the kind of savings for the industrial site, number one? So what's the kind of positive economics for them in total? And then how are you financing that solution, and what's the payback for you?
Basically, what we're doing is we're going to have a third-party financing. So we're going to install the machines, and it will have it will be a fixed cost for the functioning of the machine, as if we were selling the electricity on site. And according to the size of the machine, it will be between 60 euros per megawatt hour to 90 euros per megawatt hour, which is on average lower than what they would be paying on site.
And do you have a sense of margin on that for them? So they're paying X amount and the positive benefit they're getting is Y amount?
Basically, they would be reducing, it depends on the faculty, but they would be reducing at least of 10% their electricity bills on that.
Great. Next question, please.
Yes, for Anders from Floating Power Plant. I'm wondering about the maintenance costs and setup costs of one hardware, basically.
Yeah, so the principle is the same as offshore wind. So you have a wind turbine, and all the other systems, you have to maintain them once a year. It's planned maintenance, so it's the same system as you do in offshore wind today. It's just floating. So that there's nothing new there. And the O&M cost, if you look over the total life cycle, is about 30% of the total cost of a system like this.
You manage the cable supplies to basically mainland. Is there any restrictions when it comes to basically just width from mainland to the location itself?
It depends on which client it is. There's a cable, subsea, and it's floating initially, and then it goes to the seabed. And that is a solution that is there today. And that actually doesn't require maintenance over the 25-year lifetime that it's usually there.
Great. Thank you. Next question to my left.
Hello, I have a question for Kelvin. So I'm sure AI makes the diagnosis and recommendation more efficient, but to me the key is really on how do you commercialize? What's the go-to market of your solution? Can you tell us more about this?
So we have fully B2B solutions, meaning we commercialize as SaaS. Our first persona is contractors. There's 300,000 in France, which is what we charge a few millions in Europe. And we equip them as a sales enablement tool and a way to sell more contracts, basically.
Thank you. Next question.
Sure. This will be for Lightfire. Thank you for your presentation. I'm wondering about maintenance and repairs, especially I grew up in Africa as well, so I completely understand the setting and the environment.
Yeah, the users can repair by themselves because it's easier to purchase a few mirrors in the next city and replace them than getting a photovoltaic panel from China when it's broken. So on that side, it's really easy for the users. And now we are switching also to B2B because in France we have people using this technology to run bakeries also.
Right, but I understand that you're concentrated. It's based on concentrated solar power, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So that device that concentrates power, solar radiation, and
Yes.
then converts it into electricity.
No, not in electricity.
I mean
direct
in heat. Sorry.
Direct heat, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's fairly simple.
It doesn't have too many parts.
No, absolutely not. And there is no rare material or any complexity. But now we want to make it more complex to face the demand in France. Thank you.
Wonderful. More questions from the gentleman over here.
Okay, then Matt Zero. Is your primary growth strategy based on humanitarian grants or on a scalable commercial B2B approach?
Sorry, I can't quite hear you. Could you repeat
Sorry.
that again?
Is your primary growth strategy based on humanitarian grants or on a scalable B2B model?
They happen in parallel because we understand that the humanitarian market is a relatively slow-moving market and also needs time to rebuild. There's no hiding that fact. So we work a lot with Innovate UK and actually have received over £500,000 in grant funding to do piloting, and we have currently £100,000 more secured to continue, another 400 pending. So that's happening in our kind of 2 to 3 year plan. But on our priority then on the side is to do increase our distribution network to focus on the markets that are generating income. For example, the MOD in the UK. Local charities I was talking about, energy companies, and also the consumer side using this on the camping and extreme mountaineering. So through distribution networks, we'll grow that way, and we've secured those. And so yeah, I understand your question by the humanitarian market is just a slightly longer game, so to speak. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe one more question?
Another question for Kelvin. Just curious about how the data is being collected on site to feed into the models, and if you think about the competitive mode and reason why all these partners are working with you is kind of the proprietary data that you're collecting, or if you're thinking about the moat in a different way.
One of the big games in scaling 300 million houses is to be able to assess the potential remotely. Because if you have to send an expert to each home, you're basically losing the game already. So our first 3 years of R&D has been about collecting the data to be able to do as well as an engineer, but without going on site. And so here we get to a precision that is roughly 80% of the accuracy you would have in predicting the energy consumption of a property without going there. On top of this, we have an additional layer that collects proprietary information on site to be then enable the players, and I talked about contractors, but we also equip retailers, utilities, OEMs, and banks to then go to the maximum precision to do a plan that will generate the energy saving that it promises.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together for this wonderful first round of 5 entrepreneurs and founders. Amazing work. And you will have the chance to re-meet in the Deal Flow Lounge after the pitches to continue the conversations. All right. Again, without further ado, let's start into the second round of the pitches. And first up is Jean-Luc from Filiol.
Thank you. So, 5 years of development and a pitch of 3 minutes, it's quite challenging. And I will try to do my best. Today, I represent a team of engineer, designer, passionate people. We simply choose to believe in it. My name is Jean-Luc Baudard, and today I represent a team that chose not to stop at the idea of clean energy, but to go all the way with what it truly implies. Today, I don't just represent a team. Together, we represent an idea that's become Filiol. The energy transition is necessary. Everyone agrees. But there is a paradox no one talks about. Solar panel, battery, wind turbine, we need them, but they take a lot of energy to make. The materials come from the other side of the world, and they create a huge carbon footprint before they ever produce clean energy. To decarbonize, I don't know, next. To decarbonize, we start by polluting. If we want the transition to really work, we need to reduce not just the emission from using energy, but also from making it. That's where Filiol come in. We built a small vertical wind turbine, compact, local, and circular. 90 centimeters tall, silent, good looking. It works in city wind on rooftop. Along the road, near building, it produces electricity right where it needed. On a boat, at a company, in a public building along the highway. But what makes Filiol good? But what makes Filiol different and what it's made of? We use biosourced local material, oyster shell, powders, sea silk, plant fiber from green trip, natural, low impact, and recycle and recyclable. The result, far less carbon, short supply chain, clean energy made cleanly. Filiol is not a giant wind turbine in a file. It's a small-scale local energy production, quite good looking, good for biodiversity, and work well alongside solar panel. The energy transition just needs to be renewable. It needs to make sense, to be local, and to be lean. Filiol makes clean energy with clean technology. And now we are ready to scale. We are currently raising funds to bring Filiol to the next level, accelerate production, grow our team, and bring this technology to make that needed most. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. You can pass this on to the next speaker, please. Yeah, thank you. That was Filiol creating a new type of wind turbine. Thank you very much. And next up, we have Erika from Q-Heat. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Imagine a thermal storage of the size of a skyscraper, just below your feet, silently powering your city with clean and safe energy. That is the future that Q-Heat is building. I'm Erika Salmenvaara, CEO and co-founder at Q-Heat, a geothermal technology company, efficiently electrifying heating with geothermal wells and heat pumps connected. A technology that is applicable to all geologies. Energy market is at crossroads. Heating is more than 50% of global energy demand, and we lack the solutions to decarbonize it, or that's what we think. Q-Heat has the answer. We bring self-sufficiency by minimizing procurement of energy by 80% compared to combustion-based systems. We reduce emission reduction by 95%, making a significant impact on climate targets. And we're efficient. We only use 70% less electricity than direct electricity-based heating. And we don't need that much land area. The numbers are hard to believe, but we got proof. With 18 operational boreholes and 5 successful projects and revenue as well, we already have proof of concept. In the first case, our pilot case, a logistics center is heated up by one well. In the second case, a district heating is provided with geothermal production and seasonal storage. And in the third case, a residential area is provided with heating and cooling with low temperatures. So in these multiple cases, we provide different sorts of solutions and prove that it is scalable. Our business model is light. We focus on technology sales. We provide the design and the license and the critical components to the project. So we're ready to scale globally. And our team is multidisciplinary and persistent. We have already built operational plans and international sales pipeline. But what we need is strong partners. As an investor, you can join us by accelerating our market entries in our 1.5 million funding round, or with a use case, you can just reach out and let's explore the potential of geothermal and heat pumps in your case. The momentum is now. Seize the opportunity, and the clean future is ours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was Q-Heat. You can pass this on to the next one. That was Q-Heat, developing geothermal technologies. Next up is Cedric from RegionBox. Welcome.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. I'm Cedric, passionate by energy concern, and today I want to challenge everything you know about non-rechargeable alkaline batteries, this little energetic pixel. At RegionBox, we prove that a battery shouldn't have just one life, but many. Every year, billions of alkaline batteries are discarded over the world. We have been told they are single-use, meant to be thrown away or recycled after just one cycle. But this linear model is a massive waste of energy, money, water, and raw materials. The scale of the market is enormous. In France alone, we consume 1 billion batteries every year. Globally, we are looking at an $11 billion market. The status quo is no longer an option. The opportunity for circularity is massive. Our technology changes the game. With our unique diagnostic and regeneration process, we have discovered that up to 60% of so-called dead batteries are actually still functional. We don't just recycle, we give them a second and after many and several lives. Our business model is already proven. With corporate clients, local authorities, and the general public, we saved 100,000 batteries last year. We have already generated 250,000 euros in revenue, showing real market traction and interest. Our vision for 2030 is clear, saving over 25 million batteries from being wasted. That represents an impact of 3,000 tons of CO2 emissions and 100,000 cubic meters of water saved. We are building a circular future, one battery at a time. And after successfully raising 450,000 euros this year, we are now preparing our next round of 1.5 million for late 2027. This capital will fuel international expansion, and we are going to design an innovative service integrating robotics to recondition batteries. This mission is led by an engaged and dedicated team, a powerful ecosystem of technical and industrial partners in France, and already a great supporting community like you. From strategy to execution, we are all committed to making RegionBox the global standard for battery use tomorrow. Thank you for your attention, and please support us, share, and join us in this revolution. Thank you.
Merci. You can pass this on to the next. That was RegionBox, saving batteries. Now we have Nicolas from Stellaria. The stage is yours.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Nicolas. I've worked 25 years in the industry. And today I'm going to present you a big revolution. We're going to talk about big power. We are in the middle of an oil crisis. The price has been increased by 50% over the past 2 weeks. And the industry is in danger. It's been divided by two in Europe over the past 20 years. And we desperately need 24/7 and base load power that is cheap and available for the companies. So what if we could have a new source of sovereign energy, a big one? What if we could replace coal power plants? What if we could have saved 10,000 lives each year in Europe? What if we could drop by 99% the coal power plants and the gas power plants that are still feeding the factories in Europe? That's pretty much what Stellaria is doing. So we have here a Stellarium is the first pile that is liquid fuel pile. It provides molten salt inside, and it is 50 million times denser than any ion lithium pile. It provides a fuel that is 100% regenerated inside the reactor. It means that we can provide full autonomy for power plants and for data centers for the whole lifetime. It means that we can feed big cities and decarbonize 99% of big cities. 4,000 people are fed by unit. We can have stable energy cost for 50 years. So you can have a business plan for data centers and you know exactly how much you're going to pay because you onboard the whole energy beside the data center for the whole lifetime. You can have unleash 5,000 years of energy for the power plants, and you can burn and reuse all the waste that we have today. But this is not all. We can be 50 times safer than existing nuclear power plants. We can have stable salt. We can build down in the ground, and we can drain by gravity the salt. So we have already a big contract with Equinix, 23 million euro. It's a worldwide leader in data centers, and they want to build the two power plants with us. We have big partners like Schneider Electric, Technip Energy that are ready to build these power plants. And there is a huge growth of data centers that we can address without gas and without coal. Our prototype is ready for 2031, sorry, and we will have the first series in 2035, and it will be a big change. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wonderful work. Amazing. You can pass this on to the next speaker, please. Next up, and last but not least in this round, we have Joseph from Sunways. Joseph, stage is yours. Welcome.
Thank you. So, Sunways, I'm pleased to present you today the first removable solar power plant placed between the rails of a railway track open to traffic. Just see. We cannot solve all the problems, but with Sunways, we can almost reduce the CO2 emissions. We can increase the free carbon electricity, and also we can automatize. We can mechanize the solar installation. We have patents covering 80% of the global market. The capacity is about 200 terawatt-hour per year. Okay. Our roadmap is mastered because we have just signed 2 collaboration agreements, one with Italy, another one with France. This financials shows you something very important. We have included inside the 3 million requirements for the next development, and also you can see the 100 million profit in 2030, just with only 1,000 kilometers installed. Okay, you can just imagine that Europe you have 260,000 kilometers. Well, these 3 millions are needed to develop some special devices to inject energy in the traction network, That is the aim of the project, okay? Then to increase the speed of the train that is installing the panels from 1,000 square meters today to 10,000 square meters tomorrow. You can imagine it, 10,000 square meters of PV panels, standard PV panels placed every day. And if you know it, the work in the railway sector, you do that in the night. Well, this is my partner, my team. Thank you.
Thank you. And you can stay with me for the Q&A. I would love to ask the other 4 speakers to rejoin us. Let's try and be very close with each other, maybe to my right, to make sure you're all on camera. A little bit this way. Yeah. Thank you. And you know the game. Over to the jury for your questions. And starting here. Yep.
I'll start again, sure. I guess first question for Q-Heat. Just curious, you were mentioning a little bit, it sounds like you're doing shallow geothermal since you're focused on heat. Kind of curious, and you mentioned that you're selling either hardware or licensing to produce that hardware. Can you talk a little bit more about the innovation on the hardware itself, some pieces about the IP, and how that's different than what exists in shallow geothermal today?
Yes, so we're actually going quite deep. The deepest wells that we have delivered are 2 kilometers. And the innovation is a coaxial flow, which is actually quite conventional in traditional geothermal, which is for power production. But this combined with a heat pump is patented for us.
And maybe one more question. When you're going that deep, and it looks like you're doing a lot in built-up areas like urban areas and things like that, how are you managing for existing infrastructure that is in place and kind of managing the drill direction?
We actually only need the electricity line for the heat pump, so no major infrastructure building needs are like included in our projects. The drilling in urban areas is, of course, a thing that we need to be really careful on. So that is something that we focus on quite a lot and use the existing standards that are on the market.
Great. Thank you so much. Gentleman to my right.
Question for Regenbox. Who assumes the liability and warranty for regenerated batteries? So if they fail or cause a fire, who's...
So something really important with the alkaline batteries, there is no danger. And that's why today in France, in the lab of Jean-Marie Tarascon in Collège de France, they are remaking rechargeable alkaline project research fostering solar energy, for example. So it's water-based, we can say, and the material is manganese. That is one of the strategic materials, but that we have in Europe. So perhaps the potential of our project is tomorrow to create a rechargeable battery made in Europe.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Yes, please.
Yes, a question for Stellaria. I'm having a bit of a... the way I understand your innovation, it's a reuse of nuclear waste, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So, which you combine with some liquid salt.
Exactly.
So, what happens? So you're saying that it stops by its own, on its own.
Sorry?
It stops on its own. It's basically once it finishes, like it finishes the production on its own, or like the system basically dies on its own. So does that mean that at the end there is no more need for vitrification of nuclear waste? Does it mean that it takes care of the radioactivity and it's all, it's all absorbed, like dissipated, or?
We destroy 90% of the existing waste, including the long-life waste that are going to deep storage that are very expensive for us, because we have a new technology. We can burn them in our reactor and make energy out of it. And we can also reuse the depleted uranium that we have 300,000 tons of uranium that have been accumulated over the past 70 years in Europe. It represents 5,000 years of energy. So we can be autonomous for hundreds of years with this kind of energy. So yeah, we are fixing most of the problem on waste, and we are also fixing the mine issue.
So this will be equivalent to replacing how many upcoming SMR?
So 13 SMR like this represent the equivalent of all the renewable power that we have developed over the past 30 years in Europe. So it's very big. One unit is 250 megawatt that can work 24/7.
Thank you. Gentlemen?
Yes, to Jean-Claude from Fiole. Can you guide us through, in unit economics example, from basically production costs to setup costs to amortization of, let's say, a 10 square meter plant?
Yeah, could you repeat the question, please?
Yes, sure. So I'm wondering about the unit economics, and if you could maybe give us an example, starting from production costs to setup and maintenance, and then the amortization of one of the plants, basically.
Okay. It depends on the wind, of course. If you have a lot of wind, that the operational cost will decrease because you produce a lot of energy. But yeah, normally depending on the wind, but the price of the electricity we produce will be between 15 cents or 150 euro megawatt to 250 euro megawatt. Is that answer to the question?
Yes, and in terms of setup and maintenance costs?
Yeah, I don't have the price exactly because the price of the maintenance is including on this estimation. But it's quite simple. It's we have to change 3 bearings every 10 years. That's the only things we have to do. So it's not that expensive, and yeah, it's easy to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Maybe one last question, and then you have the chance to continue the conversation in the lounge. Yes?
Yes, I have a question for Sunways. Hello. Can you tell us more about the ongoing partnerships that you have signed with France and Italy? What do these entail? And the nature of your conversation with railway operators who are central to your business model?
Okay. So with France, we have signed a collaboration agreement with SNCF just to share some special information about technical part of this innovation, just to prepare for them to prepare the technical requirement when they will open the French market, so that my future business partner in France can build all the devices and develop the French market. Also, it's another way for Italy, where we are signed with a business partner that he is in contact with Italian railway to develop this special market for Italy. For Singapore, we are signed there is an offer for the Metro of Singapore to build a special pilot project, and with South Korea, they have they have founded a company for Sunway, and they have just received the authorization from the government to install a pilot project, the first pilot project in South Korea. So each day I have news from every country.
Amazing.
Yeah, and for the business model, it's based on licensing. Okay. There is a license for each country, or maybe some sub-license for some regions.
Okay, please put your hand together for these wonderful entrepreneurs. Thank you for the work that you do. This was really, really inspiring and great. 3 little critical pieces of information. 1, a request to the jury to please vote for your favorite pitch for the chance to go to the Pitch Awards tomorrow. I would love to extend an invitation to everyone, including the audience speakers and jury, to join that ceremony today at 5:30 for the best pitches of the past 3 days. And last but not least, you're all very warmly invited to join each other in the Deal Flow launch. You have a volunteer that's going to take you there to deepen the conversation and see what happens. Thank you.